Hello guys, welcome to another weekly breakdown video. Today I'll be breaking down the first week of March. As you can see, March 3, 2025, starting from Monday. Obviously we'll start from Monday. Monday there is New York news, Tuesday no news, Wednesday there is NFP and ISM services PMI. Thursday there is Euro Summit and New York news. Friday there is NFP. So no news for GBP throughout the week, so we can look for trades on London session. So now going on the daily time frame, you can clearly see Monday, Tuesday literally went Thursday, Friday literally went bearish. So last week the weekly profiling was clearly bearish. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday went up, and Thursday and Friday literally went to the downside. So now going on the next week, we can clearly see this weekly profiling is bearish, and going on the next week I am looking for sells because of this how this weekly profiling is looking. So now aligning the bias with the DXY, we can clearly see DXY, the bias is clearly bullish according to how that previous weekly candle closed, and I trade according to the previous weekly candle. I trade with the trend. I don't predict, I adapt, right? I adapt to the market conditions. That's why I'm so much of a good trader than others. Others predict, I adapt. So here we can see Thursday, Friday literally went to the downside. So now on Monday, my bias going on the weekly and the daily is same, being bearish. So now I'll be looking for sells, right? That is when I go to the H4. On the H4, we can see there is a change of character right here, break of structure right here on here. So on Monday, I was looking for a sell opportunity, and Monday I believe I didn't took any trades. Let's see what happened. So Monday the market closed open something like that. I was looking for a sell. I was looking for a sell, right? So if I'm looking for a sell, there is no supply zones as of now. The supply zone that is valid would be the previous Thursday's supply zone right here. What the hell? Yeah, the Thursday supply zone which was here, which I didn't took the trade from. I still remember. And Monday I was looking for a sell opportunity. If I was looking for a continuation model in this case, which I shouldn't need to be honest. If I took a continuation model, I would have lost this trade. It was a loss if I had taken a continuation model, if I was patient enough to wait for the daily candle to close, because the bias was clear, to be honest. I personally I could have taken this trade, but I didn't. On my back testing at least I didn't, so I avoided a loss right here. And yeah, there is also a fair value gap to the downside which can get filled. There is a fair value gap here. The price decided on Monday there was two fair value gap to the upside and to the downside. Monday decided to fill up the fair value gap to the upside, sweep liquidity from the previous days, and it closed as a very, very bullish candle on Monday. Now going on DXY, my bias is clearly bearish, and it's also a Morobuzu candlestick. Whenever a Morobuzu candlestick forms in a market, we know that there is a lot of momentum right here, lot of volume, and the price can go back and make a wick here. I have learned through Rob Donald's videos, right? So now going on Tuesday, my bias will remain bullish because of how these candles are closing, and also according to the candles on the DXY. Sorry, pardon me. So now on the H4 we can see the change of character happened to the upside. If I'm looking for buys, my bias was bearish, now it's bullish, so I'm looking for buys. So there is a change of character right here, and I was looking for a buy from some sort of demand zone right here. And on Monday there was no sort of clear demand zone. The only demand zone that was clear to me at least was this New York demand zone, and I anticipated according to the Asian range. The move did happen. I can't say the move didn't happen. On Tuesday the move did happen from the previous New York sessions demand zone. As you can see, this was the demand zone which I would have taken, which I would have traded. The move did happen from the demand zone, but it didn't happen at our timing, so we didn't do the trade. Tuesday was also a New York continuation trade London model. As you can see, the price went up. It was a continuation model, and continuation models do work on the markets, but I don't like trading continuation models, to be honest, because I trade reversals and I want to master the reversals. And only if the market conditions, sometimes it happens like this, right? These are the conditions in the market where it's only going up and up and up. Something like this happens in the market, adapt to the market and then continue, and then you can look for continuation model. But in normal markets, like it is normal right now, as of today is June 18, and the market is back to its normal right now. And right now looking for a continuation model is asinine. I am looking for my reversal models right now. And it was also a London continuation, sorry, New York continuation London model, as I've written here. And yeah, it was a beautiful trade, but I didn't took this trade because it was not at our timing. I obviously, whenever the trade appears not at our timing, I don't take the trade. That's just one of my rules. And yeah, Monday was a no trade day for me because the higher time frame bias was bearish and we got a buy setup. Yes, my higher time frame bias was bearish. I was looking for sales, Asian low liquidity sweep. I could have looked for this buy. I could have taken this buy right here. I don't trade continuation models against, meaning the price literally went up. I could have looked for a buy. The buy also didn't make sense because the entry model was not there on Monday, so obviously didn't took the trade. So now going on to Wednesday now. So now going on Wednesday, there is a fair value gap. Even there is a fair value gap here. There is a fair value gap to the downside. This fair value gap right here, a small fair value gap here, got filled. I literally interchanged the fair value gaps throughout the week because it was a very volatile week. After a long time, the price was very volatile, as you can see. On Wednesday, I was looking for a sell and this demand zone is now not respected at all on DXY, as you can see. And now we are looking for sells on DXY, which will be buys on GBP USD. I am trading according to how I understand the markets, right? I don't need to do what others are doing to be profitable. Every style is profitable in the market. You just have to be patient and consistent in your pursuit. Now I have backtested throughout my backtesting career with the knowledge that I have, with how I understand the market. Now suddenly changing it would not make any sense for me. So now on the H4, if I am using Rob Dono style, I am looking for these are my targets, right, from Friday 6th December. The same thing here, bro. The same thing, 9 December, Monday 2024. On Friday 6th December, this is my target. So it's the same thing, but on the lower time frame, on the higher time frame, we see different things. And yeah, it's according to one's habit what you look for. So now going on Wednesday, again I was looking for a buy. I was looking for a buy from this sort of demand. I marked this demand because this demand zone was made on London session, and if the price Asian range wanted to come down, then after sweeping this New York session, I would have looked for a buy from here, continuing with the trend. But obviously the market is not perfect, as we know. And yeah, Wednesday was a beautiful continuation model. March first week was a very tricky. As we can see, the volatility is just different compared to other candles. Yeah, I will show you at the end. Here we can see whenever the volume in the market is very high, in this case bullish, whenever the volume in the market is very high, meaning Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, every day is going up and up and up, one after one after one after one, bullish candles, right, with huge volume, with huge momentum. That is when I tend to look for continuation models. In normal markets, I don't look for continuation models. I only trade the reversal models. But in this case, literally looking for continuation model did make sense, bro. For the first time in a long time, it made sense to look for a continuation model. The price went up. The price changed character here on the M5, also on the M15. The price changed character, and after the price changed character, a beautiful equilibrium entry here. This was a beautiful, bro. This is as beautiful as it can get. We also know whenever the demand zone is very far away, the price tends to not go to the demand zone. The demand zone was 85 pips away from the market at the point, right? So at our time window, the market gave a change of character, entered at the equilibrium. I didn't wait for the demand zone to get mitigated. Use your own brain, man. You have backtested like 400, 500 backtests now. You have seen this market conditions happening again and again and again and again. So now, does it make sense for the price to go all the way down and then come up? No, right? So in this case, we only trade two time windows, London and New York, and mainly the London, right? Only when on London we don't get the move for a long time, that is when I tend to trade New York. But I don't force anything on New York. My main is London. I trade 7 to 10 a.m. UK time. This was a beautiful trade. Change of character, equilibrium, boom. It was a winner. I could have journaled this trade, but I wouldn't. I won't journal this trade because now April and May are the best months of this year. So April and May I'm gonna journal a lot of trades, and also on March from tomorrow. So now going on Wednesday, it was a winner now, and after how this candle closed right here, and now on Wednesday it was a winning trade. Clearly we can see Monday and Tuesday went up, right? Monday, Tuesday went up. Who am I to predict the market to go down from here, right? When the majority are going up in the market, you trust me, you want to go up with them. You don't want to go against the bias, against the big banks, right? The banks are buying, you buy. Simple as that. So now on the daily time frame, also there was a fair value gap here which got filled, right? I have marked it, but I've unmarked right now because the move already happened. So now going on Thursday, even now I'm looking for buy. Yes, the market is looking like it's overstretched. Yes, it's looking like the market can get a pullback, even if it's a slight pullback. Yes, right? But that will be like me predicting the markets. Even here, people would say it is overstretched and would anticipate a pullback. But I don't do that. I am looking for a buy again, as long as the price doesn't show me that it wants to go do the contrary. And on DXY, it was literally going down. So I was looking for a buy on GBP USD again on Thursday. So on Thursday, I was looking for a buy from this H4 demand zone. There was also an H4 demand zone right here, and on the H1 we can clearly see there was beautiful New York demand zones. On Thursday I was looking for a buy. On Thursday I was looking for a buy, right? But also in my mind there was that the price is overstretched. If I get a beautiful New York session, beautiful sell, then I would sell. Like in this case, the Asian high liquidity got swept. We got with what we want to see. I'll show you. We got what we want to see, right? So the price literally went down, gave inducement, a lot of volatility in the market. When our timing started, a lot of volume started kicking in the market. Change of character happened to the downside, waited for the equilibrium. In this case, I didn't wait for the equilibrium. I entered at the OTE, above OTE. I don't know, the entry was not clean enough because of the stop loss. The stop loss was very big. So this trade I should not have taken because of the stop loss. Yes, the entry was perfect. The higher time frame was not that clear, but according to my knowledge, according to my experience, I could have taken this trade, but only because of the stop loss right here, I should have not taken this trade. So I could have easily avoided this loss. To be honest, this trade was a winner, man. This was not a loss. You can clearly see this was a winner. After stopping us out, literally it went to the downside and our bias was correct. And to be honest, we were correct, but it went downside. It went to the downside after stopping us out. So my predictions were correct, and I'm starting to notice that my predictions most of the times nowadays are getting correct, bro. It's just a matter of time. I start doing the thing, and then everything's gonna change, man. I told the price overstretched, it can go down, blah blah blah, right? Happened. Now this is when the price is showing me on Thursday that it wants to go down. Now after how Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday closed, Thursday candle is a very, very small candle, as you can see. Very low volatility on Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday we have a very, very huge volume. So still now the buyers are there in the market, right? So we know that. But I trade according to the daily bias. So on daily bias, Thursday, it was looking like it wants to come back to fill up this fair value gap, and also the weekly bias was bearish. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday went up, and then Friday maybe a pullback. I also anticipated that. So on Friday I was looking for a sell, and if I was looking for a sell, then obviously I would look for some sort of 4-hourly change of character, which there were none. So to be honest, this Friday I would have not traded because of also the volume, man. There was no clear supply zones to trade from. Whenever there is no clear zones to trade from and the bias is just changing, just by looking at the condition of the market, you can say that if you want to trade or not. In this condition, to be honest, I would have just called it a day. I would have not traded, man. I would have just not traded. But also my setup didn't appear. I believe on Friday my setup didn't appear, and you can see for yourself the price literally went up directly, and I don't look for continuation models in this kind of scenarios. I was looking for a sell. The supply zone that I wanted to trade from didn't get respected, so I didn't do the trade. So call it a day. So basically this was the weekly breakdown. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, huge momentum to the upside. Thursday and Friday, huge volume to the upside again. So this was a very, very tricky week. And also if I show you the weekly candle, look at the previous weekly candles. Look at this, right? In this type of candles, in this type of scenarios, my performance was so good. But suddenly when Trump started to put tariffs here and there, left, right, center, that is when my trading also has gone a little bit downhill. At that time I didn't know how to adapt, but now I can adapt to the market conditions quick. Now I've seen that the huge buying happening on the market. So what I will do, I will look for continuation models more. Now I will look for continuation models more because I adapt to the market conditions, and according to how this candle closed, it's making sense for me to know that the market conditions are now very volatile and I want to adapt to the market condition. I don't want to lag behind. So this was the weekly breakdown for you guys. Hope you guys learned something for this video, and I will click a picture of this callouts, so don't worry, I will post it on my callout section, important callout section. You can find it there, and yeah, see you on the next video.